Good morning, everyone. Today we're checking out a brand new video from Prague Magic about what if California had regional Pokemon forms. That's right, he's still creating his fictional region for California. So let's hop in and see who gets the regional treatment today. That was a bit of a stretch, but alright, moving
There are
on.
regional forms and new evolutions for Pokemon based on Los Angeles, California. Well, let's see what that might look like in my custom Pokemon region, Alea. Hey everyone, Brandon here.
What
Los
up, Brandon?
Angeles and California at large have plenty of things to inspire some amazing regional forms and evolutions. So let's start by introducing Alean Litwick, Lampent, and Chandelure.
Ooh.
These are all electric ghost types, and I adopted them from Tubbs AZ, so make sure to check out his link in the description, as well as the other
Okay.
artists featured in this video. They are all based on light bulbs, street lights, and the paranormal flickering of lights. Nosferatu!
Come
How
on,
this ties into
Nosferatu.
California is Thomas Edison, widely credited as the creator of the incandescent light bulb, began development of said light bulb with a team of researchers in Menlo Park, California. And there is a very famous
okay.
work of art known as Urban Light, which sits outside of the Los Angeles County Museum of Art, or LACMA, which works as another inspiration for this line. These three can be found within the cities of Alea. Alea and Litwick will find abandoned buildings to sap whatever power is left. Alea and Lamp will disguise itself as street lamps. If a living thing passes underneath its light, it will absorb a bit of its life force, keeping itself sustained for weeks off the relatively small amount. Alea and
Okay, that's not
Chandelure
too
will use their
bad.
bright lights to communicate by
Better than waiting outside a hospital waiting for someone to die and then be like, ooh, fresh soul. Like it's frickin' spaghetti.
flickering. They reside at the end of dark alleyways, leading prey toward the light before sapping their life force. To add to these dex entries, they would have
Never mind.
abilities like Volt Absorb and Static, with Infiltrator as a hidden ability. And I would like you to infiltrate our community by hitting that subscribe button. And while you're down there, hit that like button and leave a comment down below about your favorite Pokemon in this video. While we're on the topic of creepy little guys, let's move on to a little ghost type who has been given new life in Alea. So here is Alean Phantom,
Hey.
the stump Pokemon.
Oh, he's a dog type now instead of a ghost type.
A dark grass type. Given this little guy is no longer a ghost type, having the ghostly lower half didn't quite make sense. So this Phantom is a
Yeah.
Child!
sorry to the Marvel Rivals players,
sorry,
I just
what?
tense. So this Phantom is a
Dark child!
sorry to the Marvel
A what? I had to turn on closed captioning to see what she was saying. She was saying dog child. Oh god, that was difficult to hear.
Marvel Rivals players, I just triggered. But Phantom and Alea evolve
Moving
a bit
on.
differently. So, when given a Leaf Stone, Alean Phantom evolves into Dreadwood, the Goliath Tree Pokemon, a dark grass
Dreadwood.
type. Yep, I gave this line the old Alolan Exeggutor treatment. Except, Dreadwood is even taller, coming in at a staggering 50 feet tall.
Oh
This
god, that's
malevolent
big.
giant blends in amongst the Titan Tree forest, using its eye to spy on those traveling within it, following them, unbeknownst to the targets. These two are obviously based on the famous redwood or sequoia trees found in California, but they are also based on a couple other things. Dreadwood is additionally based on the most famous cryptid of all, Bigfoot, who is said to travel
Oh, huh. I was about to think he would say like Siren Head with that whole stalking
within the redwood forests. So this Pokemon has big old root feet rather than the spidery legs of Trevenant. It also uses pine needles to form the illusion of hair, even having a little mustache and beard. And there is another type
nice.
of California cryptid that these are inspired by, known as the Dark Watchers.
Oh,
a group of
I like
entities
that.
found within the St. Lucia Mountains. They are described as tall, dark, sometimes
Handsome?
giant-sized, featureless dark silhouettes with white glowing eyes.
Brandon,
Typically
why did
seen
you
at
call them
dawn or
handsome?
dusk, motionlessly watching those who travel along the mountain range. A suspected explanation of these creatures is a phenomenon known as a Brocken Spectre, also called a Mountain Spectre, where a person's shadow
Huh,
can be cast
that's
onto a
kinda
cloud
cool.
bank around them when the sun is at a certain angle, creating the illusion of a large shadowy humanoid figure. With Alean Phantom and Dreadwood being dark-type watchers, who were formerly specters, I thought this was incredibly fitting. Also, there is a deep fog that rolls through many of the forests of California, and in
Okay,
Alea, which
I
can
kinda
cause
like
the
this.
phenomenon if close enough to the forest's edge. You could cause a phenomenon if you went down and hit that join button, granting yourself amazing
button.
benefits like early access to videos, all the while helping me support the artists I work with to create videos just like this. So hit that join button now. That fog we just mentioned actually has a name, and its own Twitter account.
Oh, yeah,
Carl
wait,
the Fog.
what?
Carl is a
What?
thick mist that
You
often...
you can't be serious. First of all, I can understand naming something. Second of all, it has a Twitter account, Carl the Fog. What is? Oh my god, I am not Californian in any sense. Which makes sense, because I don't live in California!
flows through the San Francisco Bay Area, but can be found
What
all
the
throughout
hell?
the West Coast due to the differing temperatures of the air over the ocean and on land. Carl is a type of advection fog, which moves horizontally, is low-rolling, and is formed when moist, warm air passes over a colder surface and is cooled. So obviously, if a weather phenomena has such prestige, I had to make a regional form inspired by it. So here we have Elayan Torkarl. Excuse me, I mean Elayan Torkoal, the fog Pokemon.
Torkarl. No, that needs to be the name. I get that it would be the Californian Torkoal, but no, now its name needs to be Torkarl. Do that, please.
A pure water type. This Torkoal produces massive amounts of mist and fog all across Alea. This fog is warm and soothing, being found to lift the mood of those around it. This dex entry and Torkoal's shell shape refer to essential oil diffusers and aromatherapy, which this Torkoal
Okay, good, because my brain was about to say he's a walking bong.
would definitely learn as a move. Torkoal's original shell shape very much reminded me of the incense item, so I thought switching to a more modern form of aromatherapy would be a natural transition. I think some great abilities for its regional form would either be Lingering Aroma or Cloud 9 to replace White Smoke, Drizzle to replace Drought, and it could keep Shell Armor as a hidden ability. I did consider giving it Misty Surge to replace Drought, but seeing as it's a pure water type, Torkoal wouldn't benefit from it very much.
Yeah, not
but
even.
Hey, maybe it can be a setup mon for fairy types. Speaking of
Possibly.
fairy types, you know which one I've been kind of obsessed with lately? Fido. Within its doughy body lies so much potential for different evolutions. So when Fido is given the Frosty Frosting, it evolves into Domut, the Mutt Pokemon, a fairy ice type. Clearly, based on its name and design, this adorable pupper is based on donuts and mutts, also known as a mixed breed of dog. The enormous donut ears...
Okay, I gotta ask this, because I'm pretty sure we've all been asking this since we've seen Fido and its evolution, Dodgebun. I'm sorry, I'm butchering that. Do you think this mon is completely edible, even if it's still quote-unquote alive?
Serves as a reference to the well-known giant donut that remains atop Randy's Donuts in Inglewood, California. For my MCU fans, it's the one Iron Man used as a lounge chair.
Hey,
its pickled ears are putting in double time, because when combined with the little frosted donut-shaped leg warmers, it refers to winter outfits, especially ones for dogs like Chihuahuas, which are especially popular in California, since those little guys are always shaking. You can also see around its collar is a little donut hole, which is like a little bell or dog tag. Its tail is also a little donut hole, which makes sense given the placement, if you catch my meaning. The evolution item also gives away the reason for its typing, being a pun on frosted or iced donuts, with the colorful frosting on this Pokemon looking like snow resting atop a surface. Domut, being a mutt, refers to how in modern times, it has become widely popular to adopt dogs of mixed breeds rather than buying a pure breed from a pet store or breeder, considered to be a more humane option of dog ownership. The mutt aspect also alludes to how there are many different types of donuts, and some of them are even mixes of other types of...
Oh, that's what a Bellclaw actually is? I didn't realize it actually looked like a Bellclaw. Oh, I'll be honest, I didn't know that. For all my life, I did not.
Foods such as the cronut or the mochi nut. I debated on keeping well-baked body as the main ability, due to the fact it would be much stronger for a partial ice type to have it, and the fact that classic donuts are fried rather than baked, though baked donuts still do exist, so I think it fits. But for the fun of it, and to better represent the variety that donuts provide, let's make an adjacent ability that does a similar thing. So its main ability could be well-baked body, or the new ability, well-fried body, which, when hit by a fire-type move, raises this Pokemon's special defense instead of taking damage. And for its hidden ability, we could just keep Aroma Veil, because donuts do be smelling delicious.
Oh yeah,
you know what else smells delicious and pairs well with donuts for breakfast? Oranges. So here we have Orubi, the orange Pokemon, a grass flying type. This little cutie, pun intended, is a regional fake, aka
cutie, I get it. That's a brand of orange.
A convergent version of Cherubi, but based on oranges instead. Oranges are pretty major in California, with there being a town and county named after them, with Orange's symbol being an orange. The white part of Orubi is emulating the pith of an orange, and its leaf or branch is meant to emulate a dove, with a dove holding a branch, usually an olive branch, being a religious symbol of hope and peace. As such, Orubi peacefully glides over Alea on its winged leaves, carrying with it the pleasant scent of citrus. Let's just say it's pretty hard to be pithed off around this Pokemon. At level 25, Orubi evolves into Orim, the orange blossom Pokemon. Due to the sunny weather...
Oh, and you're not giving it a veiled form. Okay.
That Alea is known for, Orim's natural state is in this open form. It will only turn into its closed form if the weather gets too hot or cold in an attempt to protect the aromatic components within its body. This is a little reversal on how the forms usually work, with the sunny form being up front and the overcast form appearing less often. Honestly, this is the way I feel it should have been with Cherim originally, because look how cute that sunshine form is. Why would you hide that behind a singular weather condition? I mean,
Why
I get
hide
it's part
it?
of its ability, but still. Anyway, Nyctinasty, which is when flowers hide away their petals based on some kind of stimulus, which is the basis of the
Oh,
original
okay.
line's forms, has also been observed in some flowers due to extreme heat or cold, so it works conceptually. As I hinted at with the religious imagery of
I can
Orubi,
accept that.
this line leans more into the cherubim or angelic part of the original line. The city of Orange can be found within the greater Los Angeles area. You know, the city name that literally translates to the Angels.
Oh,
On top
yes,
of that, there is
the
a railway
Angels.
in LA named Angels Flight, and it just so happens to be colored orange. Orange blossoms being
Oh,
white in
nice.
color tied in super well with angels usually being depicted clad in white robes with dove wings. And the anther and filament of Orm's forms is meant to look like a little halo. Open form is more based on
kind
a
of.
cherubim, while closed form is more based on a seraphim, or what people on the internet
Oh.
refer to as a biblically accurate angel. The aroma that Orm
Only
emits
one of
fills
many.
those around it with joy, hope, and a sense of peace. Its scent is less fervent in its closed form, as it is storing up more of the scent within its petals for when it ultimately blooms again. It has adapted
Okay,
an adorable
I like
face
this.
on its petals that brings a similar sensation to the aroma for those who view it. Obviously, this line would learn scent-related moves like sweet scent and aromatherapy. Orem would get
Clearly.
a new ability to replace Flower Gift, which I have named Thermal Protection, where this Pokemon boosts the defense and special defense of itself and allies while in its closed form. Orem's forms are not triggered by the ability itself, but can be activated by harsh sunlight and snowy weather conditions, or when hit by a fire or ice type move. If the
Ooh,
moves are the
that's kinda
reason it
clever.
transforms, it will do neutral damage, but only the first time. If it's hit by those moves afterward, they will do the normal super effective damage. I thought this would be a good way to mitigate two
I
of this
kinda like
Pokemon's
that.
main weaknesses without making it completely busted. But you know what is busted?
Yeah, it's not.
Porygon Z. It's a corrupted
Ooh,
computer
yep.
program created using the dubious disk. Well, technology in Alea has advanced quite a bit, and the research programs of the College of Alea, or CA for short, developed the Definitive Disc, which when given to
Definitive, huh?
Porygon 2 evolves it into Porygon 3, the virtual
Ooh.
reality Pokemon, a pure normal type. Porygon 3 has reached its
It looks like a dodo bud.
pinnacle in advancement,
Oh my god, that's what it's meant to be, isn't it?
looking like a bird Pokemon you could find out in the wild. And actually, the bird it's emulating is the Greater Roadrunner, a ground-dwelling bird capable of
wrong.
limited flight, hence it keeps its pure normal typing. This concept refers to Silicon Valley, the global center for technological innovation. Porygon 3's tail also looks like a Wi-Fi signal symbol. This acts as a reference to the fact that the internet was
bad.
actually invented at the University of California, Los Angeles in 1969. Bolter Hall at UCLA was where the first message was sent over the ARPANET, the precursor to today's internet, to Stanford
Ooh,
Research Institute.
nice.
With such a tech-centric state, it only felt natural to include a proper Porygon 3 in this region. And from the
Yeah,
tech side
I
of
can
things,
respect
we move
that
on to the
so
magical
much.
side of things with Alean Palisand, the Magic Castle Pokemon, a psychic ground type. Palisand
Huh.
and Alea channels magical
on.
or mystical energy through their sandy bodies rather than spiritual. They build themselves by harnessing psychic energy through feeding off the minds of beachgoers, leaving them in a haze of astonishment. Upon being full size, they will channel their power through a stick found on the beach to perform
So wait, it would still, so it would be originally a ground ghost type, but evolves into a psychic ground type. Okay.
magic tricks, which gathers a crowd
Eh,
that
I guess I could
Palisand
see
will
that.
use in turn to continue to feed off the crowd's energy, helping sell its tricks even further. The category of this Pokemon gives it away, but this Palisand is inspired by the world-famous Magic Castle, home to the Academy of Magical Arts, which is where many magicians perform and practice their
Of
craft. Palisand's
course.
use of magic tricks out on the beach is a reference to street
Yeah, I didn't know any of that.
magic, sleight-of-hand tricks that are meant to seem like magic with how they are accomplished. The shape of its head and area around its mouth is definitely meant to look like an old wizard a la Gandalf. With it having duller colored sand now, it could also be called Palisand the Grey. And the shape emulates the
Palisand the
Magic
Grey.
Castle itself.
I like that.
Duh. Alean Palisand could definitely keep Sandveil as a hidden ability, but for its main ability, I want to shift away from water compaction, and have this form be more of a special defender or attacker. Storm Drain works conceptually for this, even though the name doesn't exactly fit the design, though we could also make an equivalent ability for special defense called Sand Filtration, boosting the special defense of Palisand when hit by a water-type move.
Ooh,
Sand
that is
Filtration
pretty
is
good.
a method of purifying water using small rocks, pebbles, and loose gravel to filter out contaminants. It could also learn a new Psychic-type move called Vanishing Act, which is ostensibly a Psychic-type version of Phantom Force, disappearing for a turn, then reappearing behind the enemy for a base 90 special attack.
A literal, now you see me, now you don't.
Last but not least, in Alea, a brand new evolution to Scyther exists. So when given the Dark Thorn, it evolves into Pirzor, the Spike Pokemon, a bug Dark type.
So now he would have 3 evolutions. It's Cleavor, Sizzle, and Pilsor.
Many spikes of this Pokemon and its dark typing are inspired by an extremely malevolent creature called the Haka Painisi, found within Kawaii folklore. Apologies for my pronunciation on those 2 things, I couldn't find any guides on the internet. Anyway, this creature is an ogre or spirit taking the shape of a large grasshopper holding 2 canes.
Well,
potential trigger warning here, but this creature would sing to children and talk sweetly to them, putting them in his basket when their guard is down, and taking them back to his lair to eat, using its razor-sharp spines to do so. So I thought said spines and the canes could be combined to make rapier or cutlass-esque blades for Pirzor to wield. It could also act as a reference to blades hidden within canes. The mix of the blade with its head shape refers to pirates. And I know what you're thinking. Brandon, there weren't any pirates in California. Well, actually, there was. Meet Hippolyte de Bouchard, California's only pirate. This guy has quite the roster of
okay, that's kind of cool.
He circumnavigated the globe, signed the first Argentine international agreement with the King of Hawaii, Kamehameha I, freed slaves in Madagascar, helped initiate the War of Independence in Central America, and of course, for our purposes here, attacked Spanish colonial interests in Monterey, California in 1818. So Pirzor has this little tricorn-esque head shape to pay homage to that. Pirzor will use their long, thorny appendages to stab their targets from behind without remorse. This Pokemon's speed mixed with these sharp weapons make it an assassin-like fighter, striking from the darkness. This Pokemon is an assassin bug, literally. So which regional form, fake, or evolution was your favorite? Let me know down below. And thank you so much to our incredible members who go that extra mile to support the channel, which you can...
Alright everyone, that's going to be the end to today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Link to the original will be in the description below, and I'll see all of y'all next time when we flick back on. Till then, this is Fox, signing out. Peace.